Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey, your host once again. Let's dive into some Dak Prescott discussion since that's the number one most important thing for the Cowboys this offseason. I feel the need to emphasize this again. Paying Dak actually helps the Cowboys. You have your franchise quarterback locked in, you're set and loaded. That just makes a whole lot of logical sense. And I've brought this up for almost 2 years now, and I just keep getting ignored by Steven and Jerry. It blows my mind. The longer the Cowboys wait to actually pay Dak Prescott, the more expensive it ends up being. You, at various points, past couple years, could have had Dak Prescott at around $31 million, around $34 million, around $35 million, under $39 million. It keeps costing you money. It's cost you over it could be by about $10 million once you do this deal because you messed up. You didn't pay him early on, right? Now, the reality is of NFL contracts, and this is how it works for every single team unless the player wants a team-friendly deal, which Dak says, nah, I want to get the bag. So you got to deal with it, right? The newest guy gets paid the most or almost the most. Deshaun Watson, congratulations, Cowboys. That's your baseline. Because you know what? Dak and Watson, they're in the exact same tier. That's the reality here. So you're looking at reality at a little over $110 million guaranteed and around $39 million per year, probably a little bit above that. All because you waited and you dragged your feet and you just didn't do the 4-year deal like all the other quarterbacks are getting on their extensions. New money's what matters. Everyone benefits from having the previous contract. All about the new money. That is how teams and agents operate. The Cowboys have to stop acting like they exist in their own little bubble and the rules don't apply to them. They do. They absolutely do. So if you want the Cowboys, just pay Dak Prescott and get the deal done and move on. Have somebody cave and just be done with it and have a top 10 quarterback locked in. I want you guys to like this video. Let's see how many of you guys watching are paying attention and, of course, want Dak Prescott to get signed. So here's my offer then that I think is fair enough for both sides, knowing that the player has more leverage than the team. All right? A 4-year deal, $39.5 million on average, $100 million guaranteed. If you want to go back and forth a little bit in terms of the guaranteed and the average around that figure, I think it's fair. If the Cowboys are committed to making it a 5-year deal, add a fake year. It's super simple. Every NFL does it. The Cowboys did with Tyron Smith. It's really easy to actually do. And you know what? Remember I said you save cap space? You do. You can give Dak Prescott almost $40 million per year and not really pay him that early on. You can do this type of structure. Ends up being the same per year, 33, 38, 42, 45. And you know what else? You can even make it more backloaded if you want. You can give him a big fat signing bonus. It's not that difficult to actually do this. And now your cap hit for the first year is lower than what the franchise tag amount would end up being. If you pay Dak now, you get more cap space. It has been that way since ever. That is the reality for the Cowboys and for Dak Prescott. If you give him a long-term deal, you have more knowledge about what your cap's going to look like long-term. You can backload it, and you can keep pushing money down the line because the salary cap is profoundly manipulable. That's what the Cowboys should do. So my mindset is that Dak Prescott is a top 10 quarterback. And you know what you do in the NFL if you have a top 10 quarterback? You pay him. You don't argue over, we want an extra year, or, we're looking to save an extra $2 million. Cut the freaking punter and you got that extra $2 million. So I think Dak is a top 10 quarterback. Do you guys agree or disagree? Type Y for yes you do, N for no you don't. I'm going to make this question the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get the ad break here, help me feed my family, scroll on down, and get your votes in. Let's talk safety now. Another one of the things I have harped on for years here. I want one. And I think Malik Hooker could be just enough of what I want for the Cowboys. Free safety, it's obviously a massive need for this Dallas Cowboys team. Malik Hooker, someone I loved coming out of Ohio State. He fits all the things I want. Rangy, playmaker, a ton of interceptions at Ohio State. He fits that mold of a single high, cover 3, cover 1, middle of the field, rangy guy that the Cowboys need right now. And he shouldn't be that expensive because despite having 7 interceptions in his limited NFL career, well, he hasn't been the healthiest guy out there. Remember, I tried to trade for Malik Hooker before the year began. Now I want to sign him in free agency once again, and I know many other Cowboys media guys out there agree with me. Only 36 games, injury's a major red flag. But you know what? That means he'll be cheap. So I am on board with signing Malik Hooker here. You guys, let me know what you think here. 1 for yes and for no. Do you guys, or sorry, 1 for yes, 0 for no. Number's right in front of me, Tom. 1 for yes, 0 for no. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. We'll talk more about it here in a second, but want to remind everyone about BetUS. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use the promo code you see on screen, Cowboys125. It gets you a 125% deposit bonus. I went 3 for 4 last week, and I'm back now with my AFC-NFC championship game bet. Give me the 2 favorites, the Packers and the Chiefs. I'll take the spreads as well. $10 parlay, win $27.71. That's some pretty good return on your investment. I'm going to bank here on the Cowboys, or not on the Cowboys, on the Chiefs having Patrick Mahomes out there, so I like that 3-point spread. Both home teams, I like it. $10 parlay, win $27. Take it or don't at chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code Cowboys125. Now back to Malik Hooker here. Part of the reason why I like this idea is that I can sign Malik Hooker, I believe, to a relatively cheap and team-friendly contract, and I can still draft a safety if I want. I don't have to just assume, okay, I got Hooker, I'm good at safety now. They can take that approach. But I like Donovan Wilson as one starter at safety. I need help at free safety. I must find a rangy, dynamic, single high guy. I have to get that. If I have Malik Hooker, I sign him. It's not that expensive. And if it's a 1-year deal, I can still take somebody in the draft early. Some names to keep an eye out for. Guys that I think could fit that single high mold. Javon Mary got a TCU. Best free safety. Javon Holland, kind of a nickel free safety hybrid guy out of Oregon. Andre Sisco, also coming off injury. Now, I worry about having 2 injured guys back there, but he's got that true playmaking ability. Also got beat sometimes because he's super aggressive, but he fits. Richie Grant, UCF. James Wiggins, Cincinnati. Probably more late day 2, early day 3 guys. Mary's got to go in round 2 if you're going to get him. Sisco could be there in round 3. I think a Malik Hooker, Andre Sisco pairing at free safety, even with injury concerns, I like it. It's intriguing. And in the end, Hooker's going to be cheaper than a lot of these other top free agent safeties. By the way, watch tomorrow's video. You'll see a whole bunch of options in terms of free agency targets for the Cowboys. I'd love to get Justin Simmons or Marcus May. They might be too expensive. Anthony Harris, probably in the same boat. DeMonte Casey, a safety corner hybrid, could be an addition, but I don't love him as my rangy free safety guy. Marcus Williams, I don't know what his cost ends up being, but if you're the Cowboys, man, you got to get safety figured out. If you roll it back with Donovan Wilson and Xavier Woods, I'm not going to have faith in that back end. So who do you guys want to add at safety? It could be a free agent. It could be a draft pick, or both. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Let's talk coaching now, because there are some interesting updates out there. First up is George Edwards, who the Cowboys interviewed for their DC position that, of course, went to Dan Quinn, and are trying to keep him on staff probably as the linebackers coach. However, the Bears have interest in bringing him on as their new defensive coordinator. So they have requested an interview. I know Edwards wants to be a DC and wants to call some plays, so that's probably important to him. The Cowboys cannot block this. They have to allow Edwards, if he so chooses, to go interview. That is the reality here for the Dallas Cowboys and for that coaching staff. So if Edwards wants the job, he is free to go interview. The Cowboys simply cannot block him. So here's where we know and where we sit with this Cowboys coaching staff. Dan Quinn is the DC. Joe Witt is the secondaries coach / defensive passing game coordinator. Smith, Edwards, and Durd have all interviewed for various roles. I think Smith has the defensive line coach. Durd probably has some type of almost linebackers coach, defensive line option. He's done a little bit of both. Young guy with the Falcons. Al Harris might come back. Everything else is very much unsettled right now for the Dallas Cowboys. Once the Cowboys finalize everything, we'll break it down. Still a lot of unknowns, still early in this process, right? So if you want to stay updated on the Dallas Cowboys, hit that big red button and subscribe. YouTube.com/CowboysTV. And don't forget, by the way, to actually have your notifications turned on. If you don't, or if they're on, instead of all, if they're on personalized, you might miss some videos. In fact, there's no might about it. You will. To get everything here at the Cowboys Report, turn those notifications to all. Finally here, John Fassel. Could he go to the Eagles? Maybe. Report from ESPN is the Eagles have interest in interviewing him for their head coach opening, which is unique. Special teams guys don't often get opportunities. It's kind of John Harbaugh, and that's about it. You know, Joe Judge, who also worked with some offense or with some receivers, the Patriots also got it. Fassel's an interesting name. Of course, there's the Jim Fassel connection there. Eagles already asked to interview Kellen Moore. We will see if they interview John Fassel. I don't think the interview has been done yet with Kellen Moore, but their interviews/requested interviews so far, right? Josh McDaniels, the alleged favorite. Gerard Mayo, Patriots inside linebackers coach. The aforementioned Kellen Moore. Eric Bieniemy, nothing scheduled yet. That one might not end up getting done for Philadelphia. Joe Brady, I'm intrigued by that one. Deuce Staley. Todd Bowles apparently interviewed pretty well. Nick Sirianni, the OC from the Colts. Common theme there, not the sexiest of options. The Eagles' job, in reality, it's not that alluring. Philadelphia, they're not going to get the top candidate, so they can wait. Interviewing John Fassel is a decision. I don't think he's going to get the job, but also, if you're Philadelphia, try to gain some more insight on the Cowboys. That's often what teams, they interview division rivals, top coaches, because they want to learn information. And frankly, Fassel is one of the best special teams coordinators out there. So I don't think he's going to leave, but that's an interesting move by Philadelphia.